Welcome back, everyone. Today we've got an absolutely fantastic explainer lined up for you, looking at one of the most dynamic real estate corridors in the entire National Capital Region. We're unpacking the official V2 investment prospectus for premium plots in Sector 145 Noida. If you want a literal masterclass in how a strategic overview, massive corporate impact, and hard investment analysis all come together to drive property values, well, you're in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive into this.
To make sense of this market, our agenda today covers 5 key areas. We're going to hit point 1, the Sector 145 opportunity. 2, strategic location and connectivity. 3, corporate impact and ecosystem. 4, investment analysis and rates. And finally, 5, the long-term outlook. But before we even glance at a blueprint, I want you to keep this provocative question right in the back of your mind. What exactly drives a property's value to $3 lakh per square meter? As we move through this explainer, you're going to see the concrete structural answers to how this high-value benchmark is actually achieved in the real world.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Sector 145 opportunity. Look, we aren't talking about some sprawling mega development here. We're analyzing a highly specific, super exclusive opportunity. The prospectus details 2 premium Noida Authority Kisan quota plots, which, if you don't know, is farmer quota land that's directly allotted by the authority. One is a solid 504 square meters, and the other is 421 square meters, both sitting squarely in Sector 145. This places these specific assets right inside one of the most promising growth corridors of the NCR. It's a massive opportunity for both serious capital appreciation and luxury residential development.
Moving right along, let's jump into Section 2, strategic location and connectivity.
An asset is really only as good as its access, right? And the prospectus highlights 3 massive connectivity drivers here. First, you've got immediate access to the Greater Noida Expressway. That's your primary arterial road guaranteeing seamless logistics right into Delhi. Second, strategic proximity to the upcoming Noida International Airport at Jawar. This is the absolute heavy hitter for long-term valuation. And third, immediate public transit via the Sector 145 metro station. Expressway, airport, metro. It's basically the holy trinity of accessibility.
Let's zoom in a little bit closer now for Section 3, corporate impact and ecosystem.
This is where the demographic profile just completely shifts. We're talking about a major Microsoft campus setting up right in the vicinity. It's acting like a magnet for AI, high-value software, and business innovation. And right alongside those business parks, you have premium social infrastructure. We're talking top-tier schools like Amity, Lotus Valley, and DPS, plus advanced healthcare facilities. It brilliantly illustrates that whole live-work-play dynamic. You're directly connecting high-net-worth professionals with premium amenities, meaning their commute from the boardroom to the golf course to their kids' school is practically non-existent.
All right, let's slow things down just a second and put a magnifying glass on the numbers with Section 4, investment analysis and rates.
Diving into the market data, if you look at Sector 144, it's currently seeing typical rates between 1.70 lakh and 2.50 lakh per square meter. That's driven heavily by the Oxygen Business Park. Now, right next door in Sector 145, where our target plots are located, the baseline sits between 1.65 lakh and 2.35 lakh per square meter. And that value? It's anchored by the metro connectivity, that Microsoft campus we just talked about, and that vital expressway access. So that's your current market baseline.
But, within that baseline, there's a lot of crucial nuance. Why the price gap? Well, it comes down to highly specific plot characteristics. Got an east or north-facing plot, a wider access road, are you right next to a greenbelt? Those specific factors will quickly push a property right to the higher end of that pricing spectrum.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the absolute ceiling identified here, $3 lakh per square meter. We open the explainer with this number. It's significantly higher than that 2.35 lakh standard top end we just looked at. So how exactly does an asset reach this peak?
The prospectus defines this as prestige positioning. Make no mistake, this 3 lakh benchmark isn't just an arbitrary number. It's a highly specialized tier. It is strictly reserved for best-in-class assets. We're talking exclusive, highly visible, prime position plots that offer immediate possession. When an investor secures a plot with a perfect orientation, the right road width, and it's totally ready to go in a corporate-heavy corridor, that's when they enter this prestige pricing tier. So, we know where the numbers are today. Let's project this data into the future with Section 5, the long-term outlook.
The investment analysis relies on a very clear cause and effect relationship, which they call airport corridor appreciation. It's basically a giant domino effect. Step 1. The Noida International Airport at Juar nears its operational phase. Step 2. That immense infrastructural milestone triggers sustained upward pressure on property values along the entire corridor. Literally, the timeline of the airport directly dictates the timeline of capital appreciation.
So the crucial point is perfectly summarized by this direct quote from the prospectus. As the Noida International Airport nears operation, property values along this entire corridor are positioned for sustained upward pressure. It completely cements the long-term investment thesis. You aren't just buying a piece of land, you're buying directly into the operational timeline of a major international logistics hub.
Which leaves us with this final thought. We've mapped out the strategic overview. We've tracked the very real corporate impact of giants like Microsoft moving in, and we've walked through the hard investment analysis surrounding prestige pricing. The data presented by urban investors shows a corridor that is right on the brink of a massive infrastructural shift. So as the Noida International Airport nears completion, how will you position your portfolio? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer today, and keep learning.